It's a sunshine for everyone, but as far as I can
So we'll start it now.
remember.
Okay, so this is the review for Life is Strange, and there are going to be spoilers either in this or on themselves. I don't know. Uh, but it will probably be mostly about the ending or endings, whatever you want to call it. And
But we have free reign to like refer to shit that previously happened.
yeah, so if you are a fan of this series and you haven't played it yet, or you've been wondering about playing it, then just at this point cut it off and be done, move on, or wait till you beat the game or whatever, and then listen to this for if you actually give a shit about our opinions.
Or if you just want to hear a quick synopsis, it's okay.
It's not bad. It's not awful. It never was. There were definitely several times within the podcast that I've been like, oh god, this is the worst. This is awful. But that's me making a joke of it. It's not bad. It's just very, very cliche.
Yeah, it's the worst thing I could say about it is that it has at least in the first couple episodes really clunky writing between characters.
Yeah.
Which I say it's probably one of the few things that really gets better as the game goes along.
I might as well just you do with a basic synopsis right now and be like, okay, so there are two main characters. One is called Max, the other is called Chloe. I don't know their last names. I'm sorry. Max is basically the main character that you're going to play the entire time, and I think she's like an 18-year-old girl.
She's around 17, 18. She's
17,
I think
around that. And it basically opens up with her having a dream about a giant, like, level 5 tornado, pretty much. And she wakes up, and all of a sudden, and they don't really explain, like, it's kind of like a Groundhog Day situation where it's like, just go with it.
Yeah, I mean, it got really strange when that big red android was in the middle of it. I didn't know what that was about, but whatever.
Yeah. Well, all of a sudden, she wakes up, and she somehow has the ability to control time in brief moments.
She gets the blue remote from Click from Adam Sandler.
Yeah. Now, this pisses me off mainly because you have the power of time and space. You're pretty much Hiro Nakamura from Heroes. You are, and what does this chick do? She tries to become popular in her hipster college or school, private school. Yeah, high school.
Well, of course, she's an 18-year-old girl. Come on.
It's like, man.
Okay, but
high school, if I had had time and space powers, I would have been robbing banks and shit.
okay, I'm gonna be honest here. If I was 18-year-old in high school and I had rewind powers, it would just be to try to get laid. Let's be honest.
Well, yes, that would have been the other part, but the main part has been me robbing banks.
Robbing banks helps you get laid, folks.
Yes.
Watch the town.
Yeah. But yeah, she, again, it's like a Groundhog Day situation where they don't really explain how she got these powers. She just does. And it's pretty much, just go with it. And she, along the way, meets an old friend of hers called Chloe, who is pretty much the cliche
Punk girl.
hipster punk girl, and she has the blue dyed hair and everything, and she's voiced by what the fuck's her name? Ashley Birch? Around that, or
Ugh.
She's the girl that you think she's hot, and then you get to know her, and then you realize she will destroy my life if I start dating her.
Yeah, it's like, oh man, I really want to fuck you, and goddamn. And then you do, and then she tries to set your bed on fire because she found out that you were talking to her dad at some point. Or something.
I was gonna take this to.
She's like,
I was gonna.
Go ahead.
I was gonna take this to a dark place, but you don't hear any more of my stories.
She's like one of those chicks who's like, she throws a knife at you, and she's like, "Who's this bitch?" And she's pointing at your phone, and you're like, "That's my mom." It's like that situation, really. Back to this fucking thing. So after this, this pretty much goes to a cliche thing, and there's like a murder, and honestly, I played the first episode, right? I played the very first episode. That was probably like an hour and a half long. around that. If I'm being generous,
I think all episodes are about an hour and a half long to 2 hours or a little more than that.
Yeah, around that. At the halfway mark of that first episode, not even the halfway, once you meet Chloe, which is around 10 minutes, 15 minutes.
Yeah, it's pretty early in.
Yeah, I had guessed everything. Every plot twist that was going to happen, and I was right every single time. Because without going into spoilers, if there's like a murder and there's like, there's a mystery and all this, I had guessed every single fucking thing right. Dead fucking on. Even, now this is going to be the spoiler part, the assumption that these two were bisexual.
Well, one of them maybe, the other one...
Yeah, Max is the bisexual one, maybe, and Chloe might be just straight up lesbian.
Yeah.
Right, yeah. And I had guessed this. It's funny, I guessed this when I first saw the trailer for the game.
Because you were just like, I just saw blue as the warmest color.
Yeah. You think you're joking, but yeah. I was like, oh, because, and I've said this before, whenever someone introduces a character with a different sexualization than straight, I worry because I'm thinking, well, fuck, they're just gonna... Their only real characteristic is, oh, they're gay, or oh, they're bisexual.
Yeah, is it a token character or
yeah, it's
not?
a token character, and I'm like, fuck, I hate that. And or they do it where it's like, oh, out of nowhere, this person who was straight, they're just bisexual. Not really. You don't develop their sexuality or their ideas about sexuality. It's like, nope, fuck it, snap of a finger, they're bi. And I have problems with that because it's like, no, that doesn't fucking happen. People go through change and ideas and personality changes and shit. It's not just snap of a finger. And sorry, that's my own pet peeve.
I don't know. This form I got from Rick Santorum. I don't know. It just says the gays just infect you.
Ugh,
The gays.
fucking idiot. Don't even get me started on that shit. Yeah, I'm sorry. That's my own pet peeve with writing and shit. That's my own thing. I'm sorry, but I will say is that they actually developed that real well. I mean, this whole thing isn't awful. All of the story isn't bad up until the ending, and even then, the endings that they have are they're very extreme. Like, one is, I'll explain later, but yeah, this is very cliche. It's pretty much Dawson's Creek with time powers.
It's one of those things where I wish the stuff at the end of the game was more explored throughout the game than it...
Yeah.
Because the actual end of the stuff is like the first couple of episodes are more just like your standard high school drama with like the serial killer or whatever that you gotta... or danger or whatever. And it isn't until the end of the game where they really play with the fact that she is somebody time traveling and fucking with alternate realities, and she's like actually dying.
The fourth episode?
Yeah, I think
like when is it when she starts fucking with time like really bad? It's like
probably I think the end of the third episode,
right?
And then you
and then it delves into the fourth. Yeah, so I'll say fourth episode around that is when they really do go into the whole time travel and what the repercussions are and all of that. And it is interesting, but by that time it's a little too late because some of the things, especially near the ending, is so wild and so extreme. Fuck it, I'm just going to say, okay, so the ending, and turn out now if you really don't want to hear the ending, I don't know. The ending ends in two ways, basically, and one of them seems like the original ending that they wanted to do, and then the other seems like they're like, oh fuck, this is a game about choice, we need to add in this other ending. Basically, it ends up being like, oh, throughout this entire game, Chloe, the blue-haired girl, Ashley Birch, throughout this entire game, you start to notice that she dies a lot in the game. And
it's like she's written from Marvel Comics.
Yeah, it's basically Final Destination if you think about it. It's basically death and time trying to catch up with her and trying to kill her because she avoided death.
Like Charlie from Lost.
I haven't seen Lost, so I'll just be like, okay, fine.
The guy that was a hobbit.
I never saw Lost.
You know who Dominic Monaghan is? He was one of the hobbits.
He
The
played
one
Merry.
that looks. Is he the one that looks at the orb and he fucks up in Lord of the Rings?
No, that's Pippin. He's
Okay.
Merry.
Okay.
Oh, I think I know what you're talking about. Yeah, okay, yeah. And yeah, so it's basically like Final Destination, where like time and death or whatever, fate, what the fuck ever, is basically trying to catch Chloe in a way. I mean, I know I'm making it sound stupid, but that's the best way I can actually explain this, because they don't really explain into detail why this shit is happening. Is that throughout the entire game, fate or whatever is trying to kill Chloe, and you keep reversing time and changing shit so she doesn't die, and it's basically to the point where fate or death says, you know what, fuck you, I'm sending a tornado.
Yeah, it's one of those things where every time she tries to save her friend, it kind of makes matters worse.
Yeah, and it's basically like, in the ending, pretty much, it's basically what is called a trolley problem. Have you guys heard of this? I explained this to Legal Suite, but Fernando, have you heard of what this is?
No, I have not.
A trolley problem is basically, it's an ethical quandary, and it's basically Spock's quote: the needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few or the one, where it's basically, oh, this trolley is coming like at breakneck speed, and 5 people are tied up on the train tracks, right? And this trolley is going to hit them and kill all these 5 people. Now, you can switch the train tracks to a second pair of train tracks, you know, so that the trolley can go through, but there's another person. There's one person tied up, so it's your decision. Do you want to kill these 5 people and let this one dude live, or do you want to just kill this one person and let these 5 people live?
Or do you want to just take the blood from Khan to bring him back to life?
Well, that doesn't really happen, but yeah, like I said, it's like the Spock quote: needs of the many, do they outweigh the needs of the few? You know, it's that, basically. Yes. And it's such a wild thing, because it's like, because the endings basically end, there's 2 endings. The ending is, the first ending, which I think is the legitimate ending, because it makes the most sense, is Chloe dies. You go back in time to the very first time in the bathroom, and she dies, and it's a funeral, and it's very sad and everything, but there's kind of a hint of, oh, you know, it's a rebirth, or it's a continuation of life and all this.
Well, it's more of a cosmic, like, when she primarily in the first episode saves her friend, she creates an alternate universe, and she rewrites history at that point.
Yeah. And then the second ending is what I feel is the one where they're like, oh shit, we made this game all about choice, so we need to tack on this ending. And it's such a bitter, for lack of a better term, bittersweet ending, but the bitter completely envelops the sweet, because basically what happens is their tornado kills everybody. Literally everyone that you've met throughout the entire game is fucking dead.
Well,
Only
okay.
2 people are Chloe and I keep forgetting her name. I want to say Sam for some reason.
Max,
yeah. Mad Max.
Yeah, I believe I don't know if everybody's dead, but the implication is that at least everybody that was in the town is dead, not because the school, I believe, is somewhere completely different.
But still, a pretty good fucking portion of the people you know are dead.
Well, to be fair, I saw a lot of people wearing Confederate flags in that town, so I was kind of.
But it's still pretty fucking insane. And that's where the whole, you know, needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few, blah, 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 blah. That's where that comes in. And it's such a. And that's why I say the bitter envelops the sweet, because it's like, oh yeah, all these people are dead. Pretty much everyone you know is dead. And, you know, Chloe's mom is dead. The stepfather, who is actually a nice guy. I never hated him once.
Actually, I looked at both endings, and they show that in the ending where she actually warns some people. I think it's like she gets like Chloe's family out or something. I don't remember. It was.
You see, that's the thing. Like I wanted to see, and I'm looking at the game wiki, like Life is Strange wiki, and it seems like no, everyone is fucking dead, and it's like. This seems to be, if they aren't dead, then that's a fault of that one ending. Of they should have at least tried to show something more, because
I saw the end and they show them like the aftermath and them still alive.
Does it show them still alive? Because the only ones I've seen show alive are Chloe and Max.
Yeah.
I want to say Mad Max. I don't know why.
I saw
This
the
game-
ending and then I read something to the implications, but whatever.
Okay, yeah,
It's beyond the point. A lot of
it's-
people die.
Yeah,
For one
like
person.
shitload of people die. So and it just isn't a really good ending. I mean,
Well,
because again,
it's an ending, but I mean, to be fair, an ending doesn't need to be like happy, like whatever. It's
no,
like
I know,
okay,
but it's like the implication of them trying to make it a bittersweet ending is like completely enveloped with it basically being a bitter fucking ending. It's like nothing but bitter, and they're playing this like really like I don't know,
somber hipster music.
this sappy somber like we were young again and all that shit, and it's like, dude, this totally doesn't work because everyone's fucking dead.
Well, Ryan, if you want me to add another quadrical monkey wrench, is that the implication of this game is that Fate is trying to like.
Fate's a bitch, apparently.
Fate is trying to correct a mistake and is constantly trying to kill Chloe, even to the point where her alternate reality can end with her dying at the exact same point she dies in the previous thing.
Yeah. And apparently, Fate doesn't understand math because its idea is, I'm trying to kill this one girl, so why don't I kill about like 20, 30 people?
Yeah,
That should balance out the fucking scales.
Well, yeah, because I don't know, because they don't. It's one of those things where it's like they wrote themselves into such a corner that they never wrote themselves out of. They were just like, it happened because maybe it's somebody else's rage, maybe it's because of this. It's very it doesn't have a scientific answer.
Yeah,
It's kind of
you
like
could have just easily said, instead of Fate's trying to balance the scales or shit, you could have just said,
Booster
it's-
Gold is trying to write it out.
Booster Gold fucked up or something, or Barry Allen went back in time and fucked everything up. It's the butterfly. You could have just said butterfly effect, and there you go.
No, because
so
then
Ashton Kutcher was going to show up?
Oh, I would have loved that. And he gets swept up by the storm.
Oh my god. Okay. What if Ashton Kutcher was the teacher serial killer the whole time?
Oh, jeez. Okay, I will say this. I did play it. I don't fucking understand what his motivation is other than I like doing this because it's my art. This is my art, and it's beautiful how I do this and drug these women and that's all I got from him.
It's the bad thing where they write their villain to like, why he did this because he's crazy.
Pretty much, yeah. Like
Why
I
is he
said,
crazy? Don't worry about it.
yeah, fuck off. Just move on. And like I said, again, it's a very, very cliche reason. And as soon as they start getting a little bit more of a personality from these characters, they just move the fuck on. Like the bitchy girl, Veronica, right?
Yeah, they started to add more nuance to her at points in the game where she was like, maybe she isn't just the uptight, I guess generic like type A like bitch.
Yeah, type A white girl. Yeah.
Yeah, the chick that you see that she gets pumpkin spice lattes all the time.
Yeah. Pumpkin spice lattes. Ugh.
To be fair, I kind of like pumpkin spice latte, but that's mainly because pumpkin flavoring is just cinnamon and nutmeg, and I love cinnamon and nutmeg.
Nice. Yeah, but it's like as soon as they do delve into a little bit, it's like, well, no, we gotta move on. We gotta focus on Chloe and her bullshit and Max and like, don't get me wrong, like I keep saying, I feel like a fucking parrot. None of this is awful. None of this is bad. It's just very cliche, and a lot of the time just doesn't explain certain shit. Or again, with the endings, it goes so way like opposite of each other that it's like, wow.
You know, it's funny to the point where I'm just thinking of like all the things that I've seen it done better. Certain things I'm like, oh, all of them are J.J. Abrams shit, like Lost, Fringe.
Veronica Mars.
That's not him.
I thought. Wait,
No,
what
Felicity.
was it?
You're thinking of Felicity.
Yeah, I'm thinking Felicity. Didn't he do what's the thing I'm thinking of? The spy one.
Alias?
Alias. Yeah, that was him, right?
Yes, that's him.
Okay, yeah. There you go.
Which he did after Felicity, which nobody saw coming.
Yeah.
Actually, you know what? It has some aspects of Felicity in there too. There you go.
Yeah, there you go. So, and it does bring in some interesting shit and stuff, but the problem is that it doesn't really explore, like I said, the trolley problem. You know, the ethical quandaries of, oh, should I sacrifice these people? That comes way, way, way in the last ending. And if you were to do that, I mean, it would have been interesting to set that up way in the beginning and really
Well, I mean, they kind of set it up in the fact that they show that something's got it out for Chloe.
Yeah. What I would have loved was that instead of the whole high school drama shit, I would have loved if they had just gone straight into the manipulating of time powers and that shit. And we don't really get that until the ending of the third, like we said, the end of the third episode and the beginning of the fourth.
You see, I think you could have kept the high school stuff.
You could have,
but you need better writers because
Yeah.
we've seen I think I might be the only one who's seen Veronica Mars.
No, I haven't.
And we've seen how like he can write high school characters and do that type of drama,
Right.
but do it really well. But to do that really well, you don't need. The problem is that they wrote their main character as kind of just a weak-willed character, and you see her grow as it goes on.
Which is
Whereas
a nice
I think
thing, yeah.
it's a nice thing to see a character grow, but it would have been funnier if we saw somebody like a Veronica Mars type at the beginning of the game.
Or shit, like, I don't know, try Chloe. I don't really like her as a character that much. I think she's generic as shit, but I don't know. I would rather the crazy punk rock chick get the fucking time powers than milk toast, McGovern.
Yeah, she would have just done like time traveling with a gun.
Yeah. Yeah, she would set everyone's bed on fire. I don't know what this is with me, and I think I had a bad experience once.
Ryan, did you have a bed set on fire?
We'll talk about that later.
It's one of the you also have one of those stories.
Not on the review. I guess I should mention this is by Don't Nod Entertainment, and those are the guys who made what was it? Remember Me?
Remember Me.
Not the 9/11 movie.
Not the one with
memories and shit.
Not the one with Twilight's whatever
Robert
the vampire
Pattinson.
dude.
Yeah. And they're making another game called Vampire.
With lesbian vampires.
That seems to be their MMO. Is like
Well,
they get like these girls, which I applaud
Remember
them
Me.
for breaking the code.
Remember Me was the character was straight.
Was she? I actually want to hear what Illegal Swede has to think about after hearing all this.
All I can really say is it sounds like Ashton Kutcher did it better.
With the time travel. I don't know. I think Back to the Future did it good.
I would like to jokingly say yes, but I've seen Butterfly Effect, so I can't.
Oh yeah, Butterfly Effect is so fucking. Did you
It's
guys see
terrible.
the original ending of that shit? Where,
Yeah.
he
Like,
goes
he
all
goes
the
and
way back.
strangles himself in the
He
womb.
strangles himself in the womb and shit.
Well, somebody should have done that. Like, how old is Ashton Kutcher?
Jeez, I'm not saying.
I have a confession to make.
What?
I kind of like the Butterfly Effect.
God damn it, sweet.
You see, I like Sweet because he got my back with the Chronicles of Riddick thing, so I gotta get his back with the.
Don't you do it, Ryan.
I gotta get his back Butterfly Effect thing.
I know it's shitty and I know it has massive plot holes in it, but I like the concept. So
Okay, you know what? I won't even get mad at that if he's just like, as long as you realize it's a shitty movie,
Yeah,
I'm kind of
oh,
cool.
no.
The concept is good, but it's like, and you could do that with a better sci-fi. Really, you could do that with anyone better, but totally getting off fucking topic with Life is Strange.
If we're talking about decent time travel, check out Predestination.
Oh yeah, fuck yeah.
Because I picked that up recently and that was awesome.
Yeah, that was fucking fantastic. That came out this year, didn't it? Or no?
I think it was last year.
Yeah, last year. Apparently, it had a release in Vietnam.
There was actually a really great two-parter of Doctor Who recently that kind of dealt with similar stuff that you saw like this.
Great
don't-
and Doctor Who do not belong in the same sentence, okay? Come on.
Wait, aren't you British? Aren't you supposed to like Doctor Who like immediately?
No, I don't like Sherlock either, so there you go.
See, I actually do like Sherlock.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're getting off topic, but yeah, like, okay, what would you rate this? Honestly, I don't even know why the fuck we have a rating thing.
It's like,
Like, see, like, would you buy this, or like, would you suggest this to a friend? I think we should do that from now on when it comes.
Yeah, I hate to say it, but we should be more like Kotaku and just say, would you recommend this, yes or no?
Shut your foul mouth. I'm kidding. Yeah, like what would you say?
Damn. If you're okay, if you want to get really, really not sober, and you can pick this game up on sale at one point, you might have a fun time. I'm just saying.
If
And
you
you
don't,
might-
you're gonna have a bad time.
You're gonna have a bad time. But the game, like, you watch the dojo that they did about this, and you're like, this game is the worst thing. It's not the worst thing ever.
No.
The dialogue is definitely very clunky in the beginning.
However, before you go, I would suggest that if you buy this for a friend that is like Jeff and Grant, and you want to record them losing their fucking mind, I would be so for it.
Okay, that's the definite buy scenario right there. Just get a bunch of old dudes that are just very out of touch, aka Jeff and Grant. Okay, now who am I kidding? Jeff. Grant is pretty not he's somewhat in touch.
I'll defend this shit. I'm 22, okay, and even this, when they started saying "let's talk business" and you got hella cash, I was like,
Okay, nobody fucking talks like that.
I've
Okay,
only been out of high school for like 4 years. This shouldn't be how the fucking thing has changed so much.
Well,
It's
nobody-
2013.
yeah, nobody fucking talks like that.
It serves as a pretty good reminder that this game is basically Tumblr incarnate.
Yeah, actually, yeah, we were talking about it, and yeah, this is pretty much the biggest thing for Tumblr. Like, this is the most talked about thing. This is like the number one fandom on Tumblr when it comes to video games, actually.
Really?
Yeah, I'm not even joking.
That's weird.
Yeah. Well, because it pretty much hits all the good points, you know?
Okay. I don't know much about Tumblr, but okay.
And goddamn it, I keep fucking cutting you off, Fernando. I'm sorry, please.
I don't even know where I was going with this. So just basically, it's all right.
Yeah.
It didn't give me eye cancer.
Like, okay. So on Steam, this, I don't know if it's a different price, but on Steam, this is $20, $5 for each video, $5 for each episode, right?
Mhm.
And with that in mind, I think if you never watched or played a game that has dealt with sci-fi, like time travel, ever before at all.
Is there that many games that even deal with time travel? I can't even
There
think
are
of
a
that.
couple. Like, I think Jak 2 kind of does that. I think some of the Jak and Dexter things do that. I think there was one, what was it? There was one on Xbox about, like, a fucking cat or some shit. And, what was it? Time Crimes or whatever?
Chrono Trigger.
Chrono Trigger. Yeah, there are some. I think, like, what was
Dragon Age Inquisition.
Singularity.
yeah, Singularity, Dragon Age Inquisition. What was the one? I think one of the Final Fantasy games did something like that.
Oh, 13-2 did that.
Yeah,
I remember.
Yeah, if you or you haven't watched a movie that deals with time travel, then yeah, you know, this is gonna be a treat for you, I guess.
Because you're unaware of it.
Because you're completely unaware of it.
Basically,
Like,
you're saying if you've lived under a rock or in like an Amish community for the past
Yeah.
30
Or
years,
if you use
you'll
Tumblr.
like this game.
Yeah, or
Or if you
you
use Tumblr.
joke, but yeah, if you are a big fan, if you go on Tumblr a lot and you love being on Tumblr and shit, then yeah, this would be for you because it hits all those points. You know, you have the romance of two non-straight people. You have high school bullshit. You have
Flamboyant hair
hits to the
colors.
music. Yeah, you have that. And it hits all the points. So if you're into that, yeah, you're into this. But I could like so suggest so many other time travel or, you know,
Like Tales of the Borderland, you know, has no time travel.
or
I would recommend
well,
playing
I was
that
just
over
about
this.
to hit to that, or you know, choice games that have come out in like past 2-3 years that you could totally. The Walking Dead, Wolf Among Us, all the Telltale shit. Yeah, but if you're kind of sick of Telltale and want to see something different, then yeah, I guess buy this when it's like $15. I mean, 20's all right, you know. If you have nothing to play.
And you don't have Netflix,
Yeah.
Hulu, Amazon streaming.
Well, my thing is with these choice games is that I wonder how many people actually do replay them. Like, how many people go all the way back to the beginning and replay these, like, multiple times? You know what I mean? Like, how many people actually just say, you know, fuck it on YouTube? Because, like how many... these games don't really have a strong replayability factor.
once you're aware that like as much as you think your decisions matter, they matter to a point, but ultimately you're gonna get the same end.
Yeah, you're not gonna get like one ending where you save the planet and then another ending where it's like something wildly fucking different or whatever, you know? Based on tiny choices.
It's not like there's a secret number 3 ending where Bill Murray shows up and like, what the fuck? That is not there.
If fucking Murray came
Bill-
into Life is Strange, I would give this game better than sex. I would fucking love this game.
And not Bill Murray, Bill fucking Murray.
Yeah, and he became the main character in the last episode?
You know what?
Rewinding time and shit? Oh, I would have an orgasm.
If it ends...
The twist is she got her time traveling powers from God, and God is Bill Murray.
Yes!
And she just and in the diner is just Bill Murray serving coffee to the RZA and Jizza.
There is just I'd be so fucking down for this. You have no fucking clue. You have no clue. I'm making a game.
I made the perfect game for Ryan right there.
Yes.
The
I'm
only
making
way
that game on what is it? What's that fucking thing called? Unity. I'm using the Unity engine just to make that game. I will say one thing is that the graphics in here, I don't know what style they're using or what engine they're using, but I almost thought like this was on the level of like what is it, cell shading? You know, that comic kind of graphics. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I couldn't make it out.
Honestly, whenever I've seen clips of Life is Strange, it always reminds me of Dishonored for some reason.
Oh yeah.
I can see that.
Yeah, it kind of looks like that. It's very, but like, not as good. It's very like meh, honestly. But I mean, you know, obviously you ain't gonna buy this fucking game for the fucking graphics. You're gonna buy this for the damn story and all.
For the story of sci-fi cliches and time travel.
Yeah.
And lesbians.
And lesbians.
Well, you know. Sci-fi and lesbians have a long story tradition.
Do they?
I don't know, probably.
I need to look that up.
So what you're saying is, if you like entry-level science fiction, Tumblr, and Blue is the Warmest Color, you will like this game.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
Be warned, honestly, if you've ever watched any sci-fi, any kind of thriller movie, or you've played any game that's even close to being like time travel or sci-fi or thriller, you will guess everything on this correct. Everything.
If you've seen a David Lynch movie, you have guessed this movie.
Yeah.
I mean Fincher.
Yeah. Shit, if you've seen Louie, the TV show Louie, you probably guessed this.
If you've seen Sliders, you've seen this game.
If you've seen Sliders, you really need to stop seeing Sliders.